Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Under the Ring podcast. It's me. No, I am not your UTR predictions champion, but it is me, Kenny, the Silverback Enforcer Anderson, because you are looking at your UTR World Television Champion, goddammit.
He is no,
The
he's
World
not.
fucking Television
He's
Championship.
not,
I
y'all.
told you.
All right. Anyway,
It is
Anyway,
Matty
besides just
Bischoff.
Like I said, if I came in second, I was.
anyway, so what we're gonna do today?
I got power, bitch. I got power.
We only got one UTR
I
We
am
have one
the
champion. We have one
UTR
champion.
World Television Champion.
We have
God damn it.
One
If
champion.
you're on TV, that means you got to defend.
The UTR.
All right.
We can do this all goddamn day. I got power too, goddamn it. I got power too, goddamn it.
No. We got
Joining
to talk
us-
about. We can't waste time doing this.
Joining me as always, our producer, the man behind the boards, the man that keeps us going. He is the sports journalist of the group, the man who was writing. So, folks, when you see an article that says Greg Bush, click that shit. Give this man his clicks. Give it up for Mongo, because you are no longer king.
Yeah. Unfortunately, royalty has died today. Well, okay, no. Two died today. Nah, that's some poor takes. I'm sorry. What's going on,
Okay.
folks? Hell of a fucking weekend, huh? Jesus Christ!
Whew, what a weekend to be a goddamn wrestling fan, I tell you.
I saw someone that I know doesn't like wrestling, and they just said, "What the fuck is happening in wrestling for y'all to be acting like this?" I said, it would take me months to
Actually,
explain to you.
it would take you
went
no
down.
more than it would take you no more than I say 30 seconds to tell somebody we're down. Basically, if you don't know what's going on in wrestling, pretty much a spoiled crybaby got what he wanted, but it still wasn't enough, so he kept bitching.
Hold on. Mickey James is making her entrance. Mickey James is walking down. Just give me a sec.
Oh yeah, you're on a delay.
Y'all,
You're on a delay. You're on a delay thing.
Yeah.
Joining me also from Louisville, Kentucky. He also came in second place for predictions as well. So give it up for your IC champion.
I am
Matt
not the
Bishop.
IC
We're not
champion.
doing secondary champion.
I don't give a fuck. Yes, I am.
Technically, I am the IC champion. I am your forever IC
First
champion.
and only, I believe.
See, and then that's when that happens. When you bring that up, when you bring that shit up, that's what happens. Okay. Now
I don't
let's
even
get
have
into
my belt out.
That's your fault. That's your fault.
I don't want to get up and get it.
What's going on, Reggie? That's your fault. But let's get into this wrestling news. God damn it.
All right, so for those of you that are following whatever's happening, we're going to talk about Punk when we get to the pay-per-views because it's going to be a whole segment on the media scrum. So we're going to get to that after the news. That's a big deal.
We're going to go
Pretty
in
much-
chronological order. That's what
pretty
we're
much
gonna
the main news that we're discussing has to do with actually a pay-per-view. The main news. But there is one other piece of news. Our boy, Match Boy, Mr. Hickenbottom. Before we continue, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give it up and introduce to you our new reigning undisputed predictions champion, Mr. Mike Ciampa.
Yeah, thank you. Again. I don't want to get sued by WWE here, but
Right, we just got on their good side.
I don't get
it. He's listening to Champions music and doing the Jeff Hardy shit.
Right. That is so. Mike, turn the music off so we can unmute you. We ain't trying to get sued out here, boy.
No one will
I,
survive, God damn it.
I just got those people to stop flagging our shit. For the love of God, don't play their music.
Well, they can kiss my ass.
No, they can't. No, they can't. We might want them to sponsor us one day. No, they can't. No, they can't. Damn it. We ain't big time yet. Let us get big time first.
Well, I'm the champ, so I'm big time. Kiss my ass. Really, really, no, I'm just playing. But finally, it's been a long time coming. I've spent months trying to win back Goldie. I thought I had it Saturday. Fucking match. Fuckery took place. And it was a tie, which meant Mongo retained. And I was just waiting and plotting, just waiting. And all out came, I said, I need to make a switch.
Well, don't splash over Clash. We know what happened at Clash.
Yeah, I got my ass whooped.
Yeah, Matty Reigns came back.
You talking about Worlds Collide?
Yeah.
Yeah, Worlds Collide.
Yeah. So what I did was mute everybody because we don't need to talk about that since, we don't need to talk about that.
And like a thief in the night, at the 11th hour, baby, Goldie came home to daddy.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Goldie came
Joining us. Wow, joining us, making a special appearance from the Krusty Krab. Give it up.
Justin, now soon as when you come on, I gotta change. I gotta change my whole stuff now.
Hold on, man. I'm just excited for the fact that as soon as he wins that title, MJF's back. Like that's my prediction. I think MJF comes out and challenges him in Chicago after that.
What? Whoa! I was right. Let's go.
No, you weren't because he didn't challenge him in Chicago.
Oh, but he did. He came out with the chip, was ready to go.
That ain't a challenge.
He was cashing in.
There is no cash in AEWs. There is no cash in AEWs. There is no cash in.
He was letting him know. He told him if Justin F is going to be the next champ.
I mean, he did do
the next champ. He did.
Did he cash in? Did he cash in?
He didn't say
that was the challenge. Hey, here's the thing. He challenged no one. The chip means nothing.
Well, because Jackass decided to go and bite people, but now.
Hold on, we get to that yet. We didn't get to that yet. Hold on, damn it. You want to join podcast late and shit? Hold the fuck on.
That's why he's all spicy. He's drinking a Pepsi. Dang.
Right. He's all super up on dew.
It ain't got no sugar in it. That's why he's spicy now.
I'm all hyped up on dew, Chip.
Jump on you like a spider monkey.
But what I was saying is our boy Matty Reigns' homeboy HBK got another promotion. His second promotion within 2 months. Actually, HBK was promoted to Vice President of Talent Relations. Pretty much took John Laurinaitis' title. And for those of you who remember, John Laurinaitis was released around the same time that Mr. McMahon was released. So that's what happened with that. And our boy Shawn Michael Hickenbottom done came up, y'all.
I would just
It's not just Shawn either. Triple H got promotion this weekend too.
Both
leaders of DX got promotions.
DX is taking over the world. Literally.
Triple H is now the chief content officer. So any of that media, anything involving creative, anything that's going to come out, whether it's TV, YouTube, whatever, Papa H is in charge.
And then I get to see it also, since it's NXT.
Listen, first of all, I gotta give HBK credit. Because NXT 2.0 Was not the move. It was not the move. It was too bright. It was just But as of right now, it's NXT 2.0. HBK has put his foot. He's put his foot into it, and has made it something worthwhile now. Something that you actually want to watch.
I mean, he saw it from all angles.
Good Lord.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
All right, so shit, y'all just want to get into the pay
might
per
as-
views first, and then we'll do the rest of the news.
This man, Matt.
Let's do it.
All
Let's
right,
do
so
it.
most of the news happened after the pay per views happened, so we're gonna switch up the order this week.
We can take a bite out of all the news.
Oh.
See what I did there?
That's terrible.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do Clash and Royals together. They're both short pay per views. So first off,
Clash started with a
Clash only
banger,
had five matches.
but it started with a banger.
Well, it started with the women. They start with women's six. What did it start with? I should have pulled the card earlier.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't it start with Sheamus? It started with Sheamus and Gunther.
I don't think so. Did it? I thought it started with something else. Maybe it did.
No, I believe it started with Sheamus and
There
Gunther.
we go. No, it started with Damage Control. So first off, we had a pre-show match for the first time since February. Madcap Moss and the Profits whooped on Theory and Alpha Academy.
First, listen. Montez gained a whole nother person. Like, this dude is literally at least 30 pounds heavier of pure muscle than when he first got into WWE. Easily.
Got some beef. And he still flies like a crazy.
And because he's put that weight on, that legitimately put him into the heavyweight category. And put him into the, now it looks like it's ready for a singles run. Because before, he always had the athleticism, he had the mic, but let's be realistic, he was slender. So it's kind of hard to picture a slender guy being a certain type of champion. Even if it's a mid-card belt, you expect the champ to look like a champ. Montez had the ability, he had the talking, and semi part of the look. Now with that weight, he has the full package. So I can see them definitely starting to do some New Day stuff with the Street Profits, where they have Montez slide off to get a couple of singles matches, maybe even get a singles run. I can definitely see them doing that.
You don't think they'll split them?
No. Only because Dawkins has done enough to prove itself.
Right.
Dawkins has upped his game dramatically. So, you're right. Right, Reggie. Dawkins has upped his game dramatically. And that match that he had with Seth, I think that match that he had with Seth put him over to let people know, okay, Dawkins is... Oh, I didn't want to share that one, Mongo.
I mean, they can if they say it, as long we'll put it up. But
what you call it? Dawkins has done enough to. If I'm mistaken. Like each week, Dawkins has been trying to surprise us and pull out a new move too. That we haven't seen him try or something before. Dawkins has done. He's come a long way, especially considering the fact that at one point that this was his last go round. Like I said, I saw him teaming with Jason Jordan when Jason Jordan had a curly fro on NXT before.
Yeah, it was a good showing for those two, and Madcap. Honestly, he impressed me more and more every time we see him. Took him long enough, kind of like Dawkins, or he was around for a while. Finally found his footing. Let's see. Next up was the first match of the official show: Damage Control beating Bianca, Alexa, and Asuka. Damn near 20-minute match.
It was worth it.
I like that match.
It was good. I really wish Damage Control had the belts going into this, but
right. showed us how much it takes to beat Bianca. 3 finishers.
Yeah, that surprised me. I'm not gonna lie. That the fact that Bianca took the pin, that definitely surprised me. I did not expect her to do. I expected Alexa to take the pin, if anything.
Did Bailey pin her?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Did he? No, I thought
Dakota.
I
Dakota.
guess you did.
Dakota.
No, was it Dakota or Bailey?
I think it was Bailey.
Was it Bailey? It might have been Bailey. But yeah, it took Dakota's what you hit her with the boot.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey hit the rose plant, and then Io did the moon over moonsault. That does keep Bianca looking tough despite the loss, because you have to hit her with everything to keep her down.
Yeah.
So it's that was a pretty great thing. But before we get further in this, I want to talk about this real quick. I was listening to another person that talks about wrestling, and they were saying that the main roster WWE pay-per-views now feel like takeovers, where it's less matches, but everything gets more time, and every match that is on the show is important. There's no like fluff on the main show.
That's
Is
a
that
good
something
point.
y'all agree with?
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Yeah.
It makes shows feel more special now. Pay-per-views actually feel like pay-per-views instead of it just feeling like an extended Raw.
Right. It feels like I said, you get excitement because what they've been doing actually pretty well is they've actually had good build up to these matches for this pay-per-view. So that's number one that's getting us interested in the pay-per-views. Number one, they've had good stories to build us up to these matches because it's nothing on this pay-per-view was thrown together at the last minute. Like, except for, of course, the pre-show match, but that's why it's a pre-show match. Right. You know what I mean?
Something I'll throw out there too is that like we got so used to WWE like putting a match on a card just because they felt like they had to. Like, oh, we built to this. Like we can't hold it for another show. We've got to go in and throw, and then we get like a 3-minute match, and you could just tell it was super disjointed. You could tell that it didn't fit, and so I like that they didn't try to do that with this show, and it worked out well.
Yeah, it did. It really did. So Damage Control gets the win, much needed win. Hopefully, they'll get those belts soon. Because good God, Raquel and Leah, Jesus. Anyway, next up was, I think this was the match. Gunther versus Sheamus for the IC Championship, and good God Almighty,
That was a horse fight of all horse fights.
that was an NXT UK. That was Indies in the UK Walter kind of match. We didn't know if we'd ever get on the main roster when Vince was around. We didn't think this was something we because this felt like his matches with Dunn, with Dragunov, with Coffey, and holy shit, Sheamus is he is so underrated. He really is incredibly underrated. They beat the shit out of each other.
I love it.
I mean,
I love it.
It was great.
It really was. Like, Sheamus' chest looked like freshly sliced bologna after those goddamn chops.
It looked like that 5 minutes in.
Okay.
It didn't take long. It didn't take long for that to happen to him.
Sheamus' chest looked like a pack of Oscar Mayers after the fucking chops he took from Walter. Gunther.
Also, we forgot to say this. He showed up not just with Ludwig Kaiser.
He showed up with Imperium, baby. Giovanni Vinicius.
Which when it happened, I said this was the most genius thing they could have ever done. when they were originally Imperium, they didn't have a gimmick. Their gimmick was we just beat people's asses. That was pretty much the gimmick. And they literally said, all right, y'all can either keep this and you give us a trademark or you change your names. All right. Walter said, I'll lose some weight. I'll change my name. Other dude said he'll do the same thing too. They've essentially gave all three of them, and then they made Da Vinci get a totally different character, and then they just dropped him right back in as if nothing ever happened. Now you have three different personalities in one unit. Well, before they none of them had a personality.
Right, because
so that's a great thing they did.
Walter didn't talk. Gunther at least talked. You know what I mean? Walter barely said anything except for "I must break you." That's pretty much all Walter fucking said. At least Gunther, whether he's talking in English or not and screaming at Ludwig, at least he's saying something now. So you're right. It's a completely different type of personality. Giovanni Vinici, come on. Fabian Agner, that dude is absolutely talented beyond control, man.
Right.
That dude is so damn talented. Like, we was impressed with him from the CWC.
Yeah, and I still can't believe that man was a fucking cruiserweight. Because Jesus Christ.
Right, like
we should have known he was getting caught up when he lost to Mello, because any of Mello's challengers lately, he should have been the one to beat Mello.
Mm-hmm.
So we should have known the second Mello won that he was set for a call up.
And didn't he beat Apollo too? Even though it was dirty, he still beat Apollo.
Right. Apollo ass, old bald headed ass, milk dud doing nothing ass.
This match saw Gunther for most of the first half of this match. Gunther pretty much dominated, but then Sheamus got a second wind, and the crowd was fully behind Sheamus.
5%.
They were begging for a Sheamus win. And then for the next, after he starts to get his win back, he spends 2 or 3 minutes trying to get the beats of the Bowery or whatever it's called on the ropes, on the table, by the barricade, fans. Like he was trying to, and he finally got it.
That crowd erupted. That crowd erupted, yo.
Gunther falls to his feet, can barely breathe. Like, it was perfect. Oh, so good. That was when we talk about Haas fights.
Yeah,
that was it.
That's
it.
Quick question for you guys. Do you think they should have let him go ahead and complete the
Grand Slam?
The Grand Slam, yeah.
Considering what happened at the end of the show, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Considering what happened at the end of the show, I would want. I think they should have gave the UK crowd something.
Something, right? Yeah. Well, it's similar to the Saudi crowd normally gets some ridiculous result because they're the Saudi.
Mansoor defeating Cesaro.
Right. You know, I don't think it hurts Walter if, the two of them have the match they have. Right. Sheamus pulls out the win behind the home crowd, and then he loses it
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
I don't think it hurts anybody.
It doesn't, because
it hurts the NWO at our point. But
it's not like it's an up and comer or someone who hasn't proven himself. It's
Sheamus.
Right.
Sheamus, who has beaten John Cena, who has beaten Roman Reigns.
Do it now when it makes sense, instead of it giving us those forced title reigns like we got when they were doing it with the Shield, where you just had Seth randomly winning the IC title and Roman randomly winning the US title.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he gets that Grand Slam the year he decides to retire or leave the company.
Which is sucks.
That'll be a big final month, and that does suck. But he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, because it's either do it when he's getting ready to retire, or they're going to have to do it sometime in the near future to avoid, so it can at least be kind of in that Randy category when Randy was fooling around with Robert Roode and Jinder for the U.S. title.
For the U.S. belt, just so you can have it,
Yeah.
at least with Gunther, him getting it now or like in the next month or so, kind of it makes sense.
Right.
This is really the time where he can get it. So if not now, fine. But considering the main event, Justin, he definitely should have won it here.
What I thought was odd was how much the crowd was with Sheamus, as if Gunther isn't a European wrestler who has been over there for the past like forever years. Like he wasn't king of NXT UK for like 2-3 years, damn near. It shocked me. I was like, damn, like
I think it shows they did a good job telling the story too, the build, that like Sheamus was the clear face. You were supposed to cheer for him, right? Like I think
I don't know if they
right?
I don't know if they did a build with that. Like the whole build with them two was just, yo, I'm a big bad motherfucker. I'm a big bad motherfucker. Guess what? I got homeboys. Let them fucking fight, and we get our fucking fight on. Because low key, before my man Vinci came up on Saturday, my man Ludwig was holding it down because he was doing 2-on-1s, yo. He was doing 2-on-1s, putting his foot in fucking Pete's face and Ridge's face at the same time. Like he was holding it down on the 2-on-1. So my man Vinci can't. It even shit up. You know what I mean? So it was. They never really built Sheamus as the face. This was literally just two big bad motherfuckers that needed to fight each other.
That moment we got on SmackDown where Gunther and Sheamus were just staring at each other while Ludwig was going after the other two, and it was just like chaos. And then we got the same thing at the show. They start off staring each other down, and Imperium and the Brawling Brutes just go to the back, beating the shit out of each other. It's just
It eliminated any kind of person being involved in the match, and you got two big motherfucking bulls fighting each other.
I was very happy.
Fight feel.
I was very happy to see Ridge Holland just get his ass whooped.
I think everybody is.
I think we all,
I still blame him for Big E. Like we got an update on him this week too, and like I just feel so bad for Big E. Like,
wasn't it like he still doesn't know if he's ever gonna do this again?
Yeah, he don't know if he'll ever get to wrestle again. Like,
dude,
it's tough. Like, so every time I see Ridge Holland, I get angry. Yeah, I'm very upset about that too, Jeremy. I wish I wasn't wearing.
Triple X.
Anytime I see Ridge, I'm with you. I just think of Big E. So I do appreciate him getting his ass kicked by Imperium, who were just legit going to punch you in the mouth. You know they're throwing some taters. They were molly-whopping the shit out of each other. But yeah, great match. And that was my favorite match of the weekend. There were some matches on the AEW we'll get to that were also fucking
really
incredible.
Good. Yeah.
So we'll move on to the next one. But I do hope we're going to get a rematch of this soon. Next up was Liv Morgan and Shayna Baszler. I'm not gonna lie. When I first walked into this, I was like, Liv better lose this thing. After the match is over, good fucking match. Great match.
It was good match. I still think Liv should have lost.
I just think it made so much sense, right? For Triple H's return, like he gets to put the title on the person that like
arguably his best one.
Yeah, like his one of his crowning achievements was giving Shayna one of the best runs ever.
Two runs.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a 2-time NXT champion.
I think eventually she's gonna get her time.
It was funny to see her Shayna's struggling with her arm, and I got to thinking back to an NXT when she popped her arm back in the middle of the match, and then just continued to just absolutely destroy with one arm. So like, I wish like when she tried to lock in a one-armed like arm bar. I wish that had kind of worked to call back to that moment in NXT.
Yeah, Matt, I know you said that Shayna's going to get hers in time, but unfortunately for the women's wrestlers, they don't have the same time frame as the men. A 40-year-old men's wrestler is considered old, but not ancient. A 40-year-old women's wrestler is considered a grandma, unfortunately. And that's because that's how society sees it, and that's how like wrestling has been built up. Unfortunately, the younger, fresher woman always comes in and takes over for the older vet. You know what I mean? It's always a woman passing the torch down to another woman, the younger version of her, so and so. So for the women, their time frames are a lot shorter, unless they get into wrestling a lot earlier. Shit in that upper epsilon where if she wasn't if she wasn't on if she wasn't in this pay per view, she'd be considered one of the trainers. She's at that age group where she would be one of the producers or trainers.
There's someone right now about to go through the Ric Flair, if I lose one match, I'm done story in Mickey James.
Yeah.
And she's a year older than Shayna.
Right. And look, Reggie just pointed out Shayna is older than Beth Phoenix.
I still think she can win it. I still think she can have her moment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not going
Yeah,
to.
she-
I don't think
I don't think
5
we're
years
past
down
it.
the line.
But how many of these, like, how many women though, like, get out because they want to do, like, they want to start families? They want to.
Right.
We don't know what Shayna's goals are. We don't know what Shayna's like plans are. Shayna may not want all that stuff, and she may wrestle for another 10 years.
Yeah,
I mean, she's in great
always-
shape. She's in great shape, and
Shayna-
she definitely can.
Shayna only, as far as I know, from what you can see her on social media and the videos she does, she still does those training videos. What she cares about more than anything is wrestling and MMA. It's those two things. That's her favorite stuff to do, and then hanging out with up, down, down. So I think if we're patient with it, because now it's a different person in charge, I think Trips is going to put a belt on her at some point. I don't see why he wouldn't. Again, yeah, I kind of wish it was this match, but I'll say this: Shayna gave Liv the best match she's had in a very long time.
They wanted to legitimize Liv in that moment.
That doesn't say much, but
we keep saying that after every Liv match, right? Like the last 3 Liv matches, we've said, "Oh, that's the best Liv match we've seen."
Maybe it's just Liv,
because truthfully, like Liv wasn't putting on very good matches before. Like,
but now she is.
She just wasn't.
But
why
is it happening now?
Because she gets to work with the top of the card. Like, it's not like she's facing Alicia Fox anymore. She's facing Shayna Baszler. She's facing. I mean, even Ronda. Like, even Ronda got some.
She was in the top epsilon in fucking NXT too.
She's facing Becky. She was facing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good point. But I think I feel like she has gotten.
Y'all keep giving this damn crying heifer credit. God damn it! Get this fucking belt off this crying goddamn girl and put it on a goddamn real wrestling champion. Shit.
Here's the thing. I know that's why.
I'm not giving her credit. I'm just saying, like, the other people
Justin's
really
not
are.
giving her credit.
She's being elevated by everybody else, and that's a problem.
He's agreeing with you.
I agree with you, Kitty. Like she clearly is not at that level because we saw her before this not doing anything. Then she gets in the main card because the other wrestlers are having to carry her up to good matches. Like I don't know.
She should never be champ. She should have never been champ. Like, I think this is one of the biggest mistakes WWE has made as far as putting belts on people. I really do.
This is one of the biggest mistakes.
To me, it is.
To me, it is. Great Khali was like a 2-time world champion.
I never said he wasn't a mistake.
Or even the first time around with Ronda.
Like, I would not gonna say she's that's a little much. But here's the thing.
No.
They're all eye candy.
No.
She's a C plus wrestler at best.
But here's the thing. That's not why they
gave
her the belt.
Liv is a C plus.
That's not why they gave her the belt. That's not why they gave
her.
They did not give her the belt because she's a great wrestler. They gave her the belt because she is loved by the fans. I don't give a shit what any of us say about what she can do in the ring. When she comes out, she gets
what are these fans watching?
It doesn't
matter. It's the same reason Kofi got his run. It's the same reason.
Only difference is Kofi's better, but it's exactly
Yeah, well,
like
Kofi's a lot better. So is Daniel Bryan, but like the actual scenario behind it is the same. But, like the fans,
just like her. And when
There are people that stand for Liv. On wrestling
because-
Twitter, there are people that love Liv Morgan.
That's
They don't.
because
They
the
will,
same
they will live or
fans
die
can
for
love.
her.
That's because those are the same fans that fucking think that they are Harley Quinn in real life, and because Liv pretty much looks like Harley Quinn.
Because she's quirky and she's eye candy. Like we got, like, listen, every women's champ from Bianca to Mandy to Liv, even the tag champions, are eye candy. We talk about this every week. They're eye candy. They're all beautiful women. That's what they've gone towards. Yes, as far as wrestling, we all know this. The women of today are far superior wrestlers than they were back 20 years ago during the original Divas era. But they're slightly going back to that Divas area as far as the looks. It's eye candy.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's all that. It's at this point they're not eye candy. They're just attractive women that happen to wrestle at this point.
It's still eye candy.
Liv, I think saying it's eye candy for Liv is a bit of a stretch because it's just she gets a reaction. She gets a reaction more than most of the other women. The only women that have the same reaction that she has are the four horsewomen, Asuka and like Ronda.
Because she's quirky. She's kind of quirky, but she's hot. She's hot.
But the people that are fans of her are mostly women. They're not looking at her because they're hot. She's hot.
Yeah. All right, they're looking at her. She has the goth. Let's be realistic. She has that alternative look, and that's big right now.
They see themselves in her. They see themselves in her, and they realize that, and that's. And I don't have a problem with them running that. But at some point, she's gonna have.
I think
she needs to lose.
Like
she needs to lose.
That's the first match.
But here's the thing: when are they going to pull the trigger on her losing? Though, if she's such a fucking fan favorite, they're going to give her. They're going to let her hold that belt for a while.
They might not.
Maybe, but
when has that stopped anything? Kairi Sane had the belt for a month. Like that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw it with Kofi. Like they fed him to Brock in 3 minutes, and then immediately shuffled him somewhere else.
She might get her ass whooped by Ronda. Like if we're gonna do comparative.
Right.
Charlotte,
yeah, Charlotte could be another one.
What's the next match? This match pissed me off now talking about it. What's the next match here?
Edge and Mysterio versus the Judgment Day. Edge came out with a little mask.
First of all, when Edge came out with a mask, you know what I thought, right? You know what I thought, Bongo.
Mucha Lucha.
You're a phony. You're a big fat phony. Take that fucking mask off, Ligero. You're not Mexican.
I don't know if it might have been. It might have been Justin. Somebody shared it in the Justin or Matt. Maybe it might have. Someone shared it in one of the chats of that guy from Billy Madison, the principal that had the mask on. That barely fit over his face. I was like, "That's good. That's good."
Fucking Ligero. You're a big fat phony, Edge. Nah, him coming out with the mask was proof. It was a damn. My favorite part. Me and Matt gained a nephew at the end of this match.
Right.
Me and Matt gained a nephew at the end of the match. What we've all been waiting for happened. Dom said, "You ain't none of my daddy."
So first off, Judgment Day loses this match. Dominic helps Edge and Ray win. And then he kicks Edge in the dick, in the dinghy.
He turns around and kicks him in the ding ding.
And then he clotheslines Ray like Eddie did when Eddie turned on Ray. The exact same. Like hit it, did the knee drop, same exact clothesline.
He also had the same haircut Eddie had.
So he has now joined Judgment Day. I don't know why he wouldn't have helped during the match, but
I mean, do you blame him?
No,
Rhea done beat him in that dungeon for about a month straight. And
Rhea's been choking him with her thighs for a month. I do what she said too.
he went in that dungeon to boom him out a man, all right? And listen, Rhea has turned Dominic into Latino heat. That's what she has turned Dominic into. Okay? So I don't blame that boy. I'll follow her. I know I ain't the only one. I know
It's
I ain't the only one.
But so yeah, that I guess we're gonna go on to Ray fighting Dom. It gives Dom an edge because honestly, he's been needing something for the past 4 years, and maybe this helps, maybe Rhea helps, but I just can't get into Dominic Mysterio. I still don't give a shit. Y'all, any of y'all care? Does this do anything for you?
I would like Dominic honestly to go down to NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I would like Dominic to go down to NXT and just be on his own.
That's how I feel.
Because when he was in that NXT ring, he looked more comfortable. The crowd was loving him, and the match that he had was a lot better. I would love for Dominic to do that.
Yeah, him starting out in the main roster, just staying there was definitely a mistake. But that was a Vince call. I guess that was to keep Ray happy, but I don't know if that was worth it. But still, really good match. I don't think there was a bad one on this show, honestly.
No.
Especially the next one. We had Seth versus Matt Riddle. Holy shit.
I don't think I don't. It got to
a big match.
It got to a point during that match where I couldn't tell if they actually don't like each other. Because some of the moves that because I was like, is Seth really trying to stomp Riddle's brain through this goddamn mat right now? Because a couple of shots were a little stiff. But
I think that's just how Matt likes to work, honestly. I feel the more he works with the guys that hit him, it's kind of like Lesnar. We're like, hit me as hard as you can. Let's make this good. And that's when he gets his best stuff. That's what we saw with Thatcher, saw with Ciampa. We see it here. Were we all shocked that Seth won?
No.
I think Seth needed to win.
Yeah, he needed it.
That's what I was saying. Like he
lost like 85 times to Cody.
Right.
Yeah. I think I said this last week. He was 1-5 this year on pay-per-view, and the one win was from a DQ over Roman at the Rumble.
Yeah.
I personally think that Seth should have won at least one of the matches that he had with Cody. I personally think that should have happened. I think he should. Well, the win against Roman being a DQ, that was the best way I think he could have won against Roman for that one. But Seth needed this win as bad as what Bray used to need wins on pay-per-views. And we know how bad that used to be.
Yeah.
I think Seth could have lost. It wouldn't have hurt him, but also like he needed to win.
I don't think you can really hurt Seth at this point. That means just kind of like Teflon. But
yeah,
if we're building towards something else, yeah, this was the right call. And Riddle also will be fine. Riddle losing to Seth doesn't hurt him one bit.
Is the thing. I think that if Seth would have lost, they'd have had to revert back to that other line where Steph was going crazy about him losing all the time. So the fact that he didn't lose, that he won, it builds on the whole confidence that he's got going on, coming out with the flamboyant Elton John costume and having everybody sing and stuff like that. It goes more into that. If Seth would have, he'd went back into that storyline with the self-doubt. And I don't want to see that again.
I was about to say how much the crowd was cheering and chanting this song. I forgot this. When Edge came out, that crowd knew the fucking lyrics to the entire song.
Yeah, they sung him to the ring.
That's gonna be crazy as hell to go to a UK show. That crowd did a lot of stuff. Like Bailey tried to shut down the Bailey chants. What is it?
"Man, won't you be my girl?"
That's
That
yeah.
shit had me crying.
And she was trying to shut that down for like 3 minutes, and she just could not do it. It was just not happening. And then, so Seth, he got the whole crowd, the entire arena was singing his song to the ring. Yeah, another good one, another great match.
Which let me just say, because of that, like as great as that crowd is, that's why you reward them with something.
Yeah, they
Right.
need to have
That's
Right,
why
right.
like
That crowd was
they're
hyped.
doing all that for you without getting rewarded. Imagine if you'd have given them either Sheamus or Drew.
And what? We didn't get to
Like-
Drew yet. Hold on, we didn't get to Drew yet.
Well,
Come on.
everyone listen to this knows, but yeah, it's that does kind of suck that because they built it up as like the first something
Pay-per-view there, and was it? Yeah, like the last time they had a pay-per-view there was Davey Boy Smith beating Bret Hart.
Well, didn't they do Insurrection over there? Like they kept saying 30 years, but I felt like we had UK pay-per-views.
They've had UK. They've always been those ones where you usually just saw them on tape, or when they. This was the first time where it was something where we were actually all watching it at the same time.
All right. So you think that one of the heroes these guys are going to stick with, they're going to win, and let's get to it. Roman versus Drew.
Horse fight.
And Usos and Sammy didn't show up. I don't know why they weren't there. I guess they just wanted to have a reason to bring Solo up. Okay, stadium pay-per-view. All right, thank you, Reggie.
Well, didn't Drew like dispose of them on Friday night?
That's
Drew.
right.
Here's the thing.
Drew beat them down on Friday.
No, but hold on. Drew beat them down Friday, but also the win that Drew had. Drew also won a match where they were banned from ringside, so there was no. He was going to have to go to this match alone without the bloodline. Solo's technically. Yep. Solo's technically not part of the bloodline on the main roster. Like he's part of the bloodline in real life, but on the main roster, he wasn't part of the bloodline. So Solo coming in and helping was absolutely it's about that moment right there was the biggest thing to me that I saw in the change between Vince and Trips. Vince would have brought Solo up, not even acknowledging the fact that he was an Uso. He would have brought him up on his own, doing something completely different. Even though people have been screaming "Oos" at the top of their goddamn lung when he came walking down the aisle, Vince would have pretty much done something to the point where they would have. Think about it. It was only literally about 2 weeks before Solo came up. They even acknowledged what his bloodline was.
They'd have turned him into the Funkasaurus 2.0. Just to try to get away from him being Vince would absolutely do something like that.
I'm just imagining Solo Sikoa, like we see all these fucking vignettes of like he's the straight champion, he's a badass, and he has that fucking hat we once.
And then he just starts dancing to the ring.
Like, dude, it wouldn't surprise me. Fucking. So with Trips in charge, it showed continuation. It showed that one show is actually. It showed that the shows are watching each other and continuing stories and actually intertwining with each other, which is awesome because it's making for more interesting television. You just added a brand new member to this bloodline, and Mongo, that fucking shit you sent me from Twitter. When he Uso dragging Sammy out the fucking Roman, I was crying.
My first Medea movie.
Mongo, you got a request. You got a request, Mongo. You got to hit
it. Nope. Anyway,
I do want to talk about what happened after the Drew match.
All right, but let's real quick. This match was 30 minutes.
It was worth it.
Well worth the 30 minutes.
Could they have shredded this down at all, or do you think 30 was fine?
No,
30 was
30 was
fine. Is it 30 with the entrances, or is it 30 just with wrestling?
30 from bell to bell.
Okay, so even it was worth the time that it was with the entrances and everything because it literally told a story. I mean, they told a story throughout the whole show. They told
got Drew's old music back during the
entrance. Like they told us, Roman is going into this alone. There is no Usos. They can't come over because Matty Us likes to get litty and get in trouble. So no going overseas for him. Paul Heyman said nope.
I was wondering if any of it was like certain other reasons, because every now and then they'll go over. This happened last week. I forgot who it was.
Yeah, they couldn't go to
somebody's
Canada.
not there. No, not this. Somebody else on the roster. They're like they're not here because of medical reasons.
Oh
It was
yeah,
because they didn't get the vaccine.
And
I think it was Nikita.
Oh yep. It was. That's exactly who it was. They told a great story throughout that whole match. You saw Roman was out there alone. Who was sitting in the audience? Karrion Kross, because he's really interested
in whoever wins.
We were sitting up there. We're seeing this house fight. We hear Austin Theory's music. Oh shit! Here come Austin Theory. And if people didn't think Austin Theory was hated, well, you know he's hated because you heard that whole damn crowd boo the fuck out of him. And then
boo wasn't the word. And then Tyson Fury decided to put Austin Theory's jaw on the other side of his goddamn face.
Right. And that was a great way for them to get rid of to keep the money in the bank, just to tease us with it. But it made sense. He got knocked out. That's why he couldn't cash in.
I could not stop laughing at Tyson. I mean, he's just like a fucking brick.
Oh, gosh, it's a straight right. Yo, Austin, I don't know, Austin. Tyson don't know he's supposed to pull that punch, I think. I don't think he know that, they don't really connect fully on that shit. Because I'm pretty sure Austin was asleep for about a good 10 seconds after that fucking hit, because his whole face shook. Like,
and then even through that, it's like, okay, Drew has to be winning. Didn't think about Solo possibly showing up overseas, but it was a great way for them to introduce him into the bloodline because, I mean, even though Vince had him in NXT 2.0, the original plan was for him to go to the bloodline just right off the bat with us not even knowing who the hell he was. Until
you know what? That crowd didn't know who the fuck he was.
It didn't. Until he took off. Know what it is? They didn't know who the fuck he was, and then he took off the goddamn hoodie, and they was like, I thought the Usos couldn't make it. They was fucking confused. They was like, is that Jay?
Yeah.
They like, is that Jay? Is that Jimmy? Like, I thought his hair
got curls now.
I thought his hair was red. How's it blonde?
I need Theory to cash in, like at some point, like actually cash in, and like slip on a banana peel and lose or something. Like something ridiculous as to how he doesn't actually win on cashing in. It's one of these silly things. Actually, turns out to be like he accidentally cashes in. Like he doesn't mean to cash in and gets knocked out.
I think at this point, and Kenny brought it up to me. At this point, I think it's pretty clear. Him and Johnny Gargano are going to feud through that thing. And either Johnny Gargano is going to get that briefcase. Some type of foolishness, fuckery is about to happen with that. They know that
Johnny Gargano wins that
briefcase
and becomes a world champion, Vince is going to have a heart attack.
Like, they know that Austin Theory is so hated. And they're like, he's so hated. We don't really need him. He doesn't really need this briefcase at this point.
I'm going to make a prediction here. What's going to happen is Johnny Gargano is going to take the case from Austin Theory, and Johnny Gargano is going to cash in on Karrion Kross and beat Karrion Kross. That's what's going to happen. Because let's be realistic, Karrion Kross is more believable of Gargano beating than Gargano beating Roman. All right, because Karrion Kross, because we know how Gargano can get down from it being in NXT. He's a person that you got to pretty much beat to a damn bloody pulp.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not the type of style of match that Roman would be down with doing, but it's definitely a type of style of match that Kross would be down with doing. And I can see Kross going for his move and just a minor slip up, and Johnny getting him in the Gargano stretch. And that's how we get Johnny as champ. That's my prediction on what would happen.
I don't know if we get Johnny as champ, honestly.
I think what would be different, I don't think they'll do it, but it'd be kind of cool to see Johnny get the case, and he and Ciampa end up talking, and they cash in for the tag titles with a DIY reunion. Because it just says you get a title shot, right? Like it doesn't. I feel like he could probably work that
Right,
in.
because Otis was going to cash in for the tag belt.
Right.
It used to be for a shot at a world title, but over the past few years they've made it a shot at a championship or at the championship.
Or does he go down to NXT and take the title from Braun?
I don't know if he needs to do that.
No.
I would hope
I like
not.
the Ciampa idea though. I do like that.
I think it'd be fun.
So anyway, Solo interferes, costs Drew. Roman walks away again, and it pissed off the crowd because, like Justin said,
they got nothing. But what they did get, which I want to talk about, is fucking Tyson Fury and Drew McIntyre singing at the fucking end.
Fuck that.
Mongo, you brought it up. Mongo, in the chat about how people were pissed about how Kofi lost and was just like, it's whatever. This was, like you said, this is no fucking different. Drew, I tried my best and I didn't win, but I'll be back. And then you get him and fucking Fury singing.
Sweet Caroline.
First of all, that was like 4 accents at once. I don't know how he did that, but also, yeah. So I guess I should have known this. Anybody here that's a boxing fan probably should have known this. Apparently, Tyson did that because that's what he did after fights. But
yeah, I
when
know.
he did it, I was like, "What the fuck is he doing this? Why? Who is this for?" And the crowd didn't fucking care. And
Not one bit.
Drew, and he sang for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. He didn't the full song, but he did like a song, a chorus again. You know, like.
And the crowd was just like, "What the fuck?"
Drew says, "I don't even know if we're on air anymore. Can you do Sweet Caroline?" And then he did some Oasis song, I think.
I got up because I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm just gonna get up and go to the bathroom.
I was like, is something gonna happen? Is he gonna punch Fury? Is Fury him?
Right, because
No.
because I remember that there was a whole little story about how they wanted to start a feud or a little storyline with Drew and Fury, with them two fighting eventually. So I thought, oh, okay, this is where we're gonna get the beginning of it, right here. He's singing, and then he's just gonna snuff him out of nowhere.
Nope.
No,
they singing and they singing and they singing.
And there was his credits.
They're still singing over there. They ain't left that ring yet. They're just singing and singing. And it was ridiculous.
Yeah, 100%. He should have came down and choked out both of them.
Something just like fucking.
I was more mad for Kross because they really made that man get on a plane, come all the way over there just to stand there and look menacing.
And to throw a water bottle.
A water bottle.
He threw a water bottle.
Honestly.
But
so yeah,
and see, you hold up. You know what? Hold on. You know what? That was interesting too. Cross didn't really fuck with Roman. He only fucked with Drew.
Well, that means him and Drew are probably going to be fighting.
Him and Drew, that's pay-per-view probably.
Yeah, Extreme Rules.
Right.
Roman ain't
Like-
showing up to Survivor Series probably, unless they go to Saudi.
Right,
Yeah, baby.
Right. We're gonna hold on to that in the cut. We'll hold on to that in the cut real quick. You know what I mean? So yeah. But
So
Boys.
a great show.
Real quick, I'm gonna bow out. I've still got COVID. It's kicking. I just got real tired. So I enjoyed talking Clash at the Castle with you guys. I'll be back soon. Talk with you guys very, very soon. Y'all take care.
Peace,
Feel
brother. Feel better. So a great show, marred by one. I'm not even gonna say Sheamus and Gunther's ending was bad because it's just, if you just have Drew win, then it's fine. A great show marred by one big error at the very end. Like if Drew wins, I think you say this is the best, one of the top 3 pay-per-views from WWE this year. Without it, with how it ended, it's going to be remembered for Sheamus and Gunther, and that's kind of about it.
I mean,
yeah, because you had no title changes at all. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, they have finally did what we had planned months ago with Solo. They finally got him on the main roster, or they finally got him involved with the bloodline. So now they can just add another piece at some point. Eventually, at some point, he's going to win gold also. And you just further that story. You just further give gold to the bloodline. You just make them richer.
Listen, if they're smart, what they're gonna do is they're gonna give Solo a mid-card championship, and they're gonna have every member of that bloodline with a fucking piece of gold.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's going to win either the IC belt or he's going to win the US belt. Because if you notice, Usos have been on Raw a lot more lately. Although they alternate, but they've been on Raw a lot more lately. Solo can definitely win that US title.
Especially from Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
He can beat
So
Lashley.
you'd rather have Solo be U.S. champion than IC champion?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Solo is just going to be they're basically,
Actually,
he's just going to be the understudy. He's not going to be wrestling for no titles. He's going to be the new whipping boy. If you think about it, every Uso, basically out of the Usos, every Uso has gotten in line by becoming the whipping boy. It started with Jay, then Jimmy came back, or Jimmy came back and Jay came back. Whichever one.
But
Uso
I don't know.
saved Uso.
I don't know because this Uso came in already falling in line.
So he's still gonna take his licks. Think about it.
See,
Now
we'll see-
Sammy
we'll
is
see-
there.
we'll see what he
Sammy
does
is
with
taking
Sammy.
those licks.
Roman
Sammy
Roman likes Sammy.
Yeah.
As far as we've seen, Roman actually likes Sammy. So as far as we know, he might not, but they're making it like Roman is a fan of Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
So if Solo comes in and tries to, push Sammy out, what does that do for Roman?
I mean,
Because maybe Solo lines up with Jay and it has Jimmy against Jay. We have more of an implosion again, and we have to kind of fix stuff.
I don't think so. If anything, what I see happening is what we said in the beginning when we first saw Solo, and what we said. We said Solo was going to come up, and he's going to be such the great soldier. You're going to see the implosion because of jealousy because of how fast Solo moves up the ranks. Like I said, he came in as a soldier on a mission already, ready to do whatever the general said to do.
Solo's the hitman.
Right.
Solo's the hitman. That's basically what he's there for. He's the hit.
All right, y'all. We got to skim through because we already an hour in and we still got 2 more pay-per-views to go through. Let's go through Worlds Collide right.
Let's quickly go through Worlds Collide then. Best match of the night was obviously Melo and Ricochet.
Right.
Close second was that fucking tag match.
That
brawl.
tag match to me. All right, yeah. 1A, 1B, Ricochet and Melo and the tag match. 1A, 1B. Like that's. I do think though that championships not changing hands as far as from the NXT stars was the wrong call.
Yeah, one of the UK people need to win. I mean, I guess, do you count Pretty Deadly as UK, or do you still count him as NXT?
No. As this, Pretty Deadly, I think was the only right call of the night as far as the championships.
I would have gone Gallus, but yeah, that's a good second choice out of the teams.
I honestly like Pretty Deadly Gallus because absolutely no one likes Pretty Deadly.
Right.
Okay. So they're gonna have challenges from all angles. The bad guys are gonna think they're fucking pussies because they're pretty boys. The good guys are just gonna want to beat them up because they're bad guys. I think Pretty Deadly was the good choice for them. I do think Melo and Braun should have lost.
You think Melo should have lost Ricochet?
Yes.
Monday Night Mellow. I need it.
I do think both of those gentlemen are ready to be on my TV screen either on Mondays or Fridays.
Okay.
Both of them.
The only title change I thought that could possibly happen was Tyler Bate, because I didn't think they would have Ricochet pulling a Dolph and doing working doubles.
I feel like
Tyler Bates clothes. Why that man ain't changed his clothes in like 2-3 weeks? Right?
He ain't got no clothes. He ain't got no clothes.
His best friend punched him in the face and left, and he's having a rough time with it, man. The one that I picked the wrong person. I knew it was a long shot. Was I went Mako on the women's match. I did not think Mandy was going to win though. I thought they were going to put it on Blair.
I told you.
I did.
Like I didn't think Mandy.
I thought it was going to go on
Mandy,
Davenport.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought Blair was going to win because Mandy. I am just shocked at how long her title reign is going. It's.
But you know what though? But let's think about it. I can't even say that because I was going to say, do we think Mandy's at the caliber of what we see is on the main roster right now? And I can't even bring that up when we got Liv as fucking champ. So never mind. There goes that fucking shit.
Mandy is now the third longest reigning champion.
I will say this on Mandy's behalf. She, as much as just like Kenny said, well, we got someone like Liv as champ. Mandy went out there in that match with two people that we clearly know are better than her, and she held her own.
She put on a show. She damn sure did. She damn sure did.
And like when she won that match, she basically a lot of her matches I've noticed every time she wins, it started out like, yeah, y'all think I can't wrestle. Now she's like top that. She's really talking her shit now.
And I ain't gonna lie, Mandy has a pretty damn good knee. She has a pretty damn good knee. That's definitely a great fucking finisher for her. So
like she's really kind of backing herself up. Like, I'm not just here for looks anymore. I'm learning how to wrestle.
mm-hmm. That and you know what? Like I said, I do think Braun and Melo were the wrong call. Braun is ready to be on Friday, one day, going after a mid card. Okay, And right now, with Mr. Strowman back, I wouldn't mind seeing him on Monday Night Raw fighting the other Braun. Braun versus Braun. Let's see who gets to
That's
keep the
so. Here's
fucking
the thing.
name.
If we have two
Mhm.
Brawns, do they just make Braun Rex Steiner, or do they have them both be Braun?
I think they'll have them both be Braun.
Okay.
I
All
think
right,
I think
so
they might put Steiner on the last name.
Braun Steiner.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I will say
Um,
the double back to Mandy real quick about her
Mhm.
title reign. Her and Mello, honestly. We have the 1 year anniversary coming up. They're letting Mandy showing up. We don't know what could happen. She could get challenged by somebody. Mello, we know Mello has a match. They're letting the NXT, they're letting us decide on who he's fighting. I haven't seen any options yet.
Right.
That could be the moment where Mello is finally graduating.
So then, who takes the belt off him? You give Tyler Bate needs the regular NXT. Let's not make that any kind of like difference. People need to Tyler Bate needs a belt in this regular NXT.
That
He needs a belt.
and he needs more American eyes on him.
Who did
Exactly.
Trick lose to on Tuesday? Ricochet.
He lost to Ricochet.
Hmm.
Wasn't Trick feuding with Wes Lee recently?
Mm-hmm. And then Wesley got murdered by JD.
Right.
My dud.
So JD's gonna go back to that belt. So yeah, maybe Tyler. I don't know. I don't really know.
Maybe
They don't have
Tyler.
anybody set up.
Maybe Apollo with his messed up eye. Maybe
So
it's
what?
just somebody
Tyler,
we just don't know.
what?
Grayson Waller.
Tyler gets the North American title.
Maybe.
Maybe.
What about Grayson Waller?
Yeah.
Uh,
Waller.
Here's
Tony
the
D?
thing, Waller. I think Waller. Tony D needs to be the NXT champ.
No, he doesn't.
He needs to be. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
It's either going to be for NXT champ. It's either going to be Gacy or it's going to be Tony D'Angelo, aka Spaghetti Man.
Right. Those are your obvious two choices of who should be NXT champ right now.
They
Honestly.
have the two gimmicks that show you who is the dominant force in
Mm-hmm.
NXT. One person is saying they are the Don of NXT, and then one guy has literally made it his mission to change NXT.
Mm-hmm.
One guy, both of them have gained backup. One of them has a little bit more backup, and they're called the Dyad. If he wants to assert his dominance, this is the storyline I keep saying is going to happen. And when it happens, I'm just going to be like I told y'all. He keeps trying to convert Grimes. He keeps trying to do that. If his way is, if he's changing NXT, he's going to change NXT by getting rid of Grimes. That's how Grimes gets sent to the main roster.
Either that or Grimes stays down and he shaves his ass bald from head to fucking toe like a mole rat.
And he pulls a DB on us. That was a great moment. But one of those is going to happen. Mongo will probably go for Gacy as NXT champ for.
Yeah, but Tony D or Gacy are your two obvious choices of who should be next in line to be champions. At one point, we could have thought Escobar. At one point, we could have thought Escobar, but then
Greg is just like, nah. He's listening. He's just like,
I hate him. Hate him a lot. Hate him so much.
it is what it is, Mongo.
It is Mojo level hate.
Oh, God.
Wow.
I didn't know you like it like that. Damn.
Right, I didn't know that.
Let's break
Damn.
That's how we know he don't like him. Damn.
I could have maybe turned around and like he's not terrible, but him beating Ciampa and sending him off pissed me off beyond all recognition. Like, why him of all the people? You just have Braun beat Ciampa. Let that be it. Nope. We're gonna give it to Tony D. Whatever. And then he gets rid of Santos. God, whatever. Let's go to the next show. All right. Fucking hell. So All Out.
Oh, All Out.
It's all ass.
48 hour extravaganza.
15 matches.
15 matches, 78 hours, and one man with some tea spilt at the media scrum.
With a piece of cake in his hand.
So, real quick, we all had half of this show predicted correctly. And then I fell off the rails, and the rest of y'all kept going. I guess I was just hoping for like good shit to happen, but I was wrong.
I knew
This motherfucker said I fell off the wagon. Like he was.
I literally went into that Sunday and was like, I need to change it to the Elite. Change it to the Elite. Matt, change it to the Elite. And something in my head was like, nah, as soon as you change it, watch the motherfuckers, the Dark Order win, and you're going to be mad as a motherfucker.
I was the only motherfucker with Elite.
And I thought the opposite. I'm like, them motherfuckers ain't gonna win.
I was the only motherfucker who thought the Elite because I said that Hangman was going to be the reason to help them, which he technically was.
Yeah, he was.
I told y'all he was going to be the cause of the Elite winning. I thought he was going to turn, but he still was the cause of the Elite winning. So, Mongo, let's run through this 89 match card real quick, Mongo.
All right, so pre-show happened. Nothing really important mattered there. Kip Sabian showed up again, and he's terrible. Eddie Kingston beat Tomohiro Ishii. So we have one more of those. We need a rubber match.
All right.
Hook squash Anthony Parker. And
gave us a great entrance.
Sammy and
gave us my man Action Bronson got involved. Let's not forget that.
And Sammy and Tay injured Ruby Soho. So
yeah, it broke our neck just about.
If you didn't see it, if you didn't watch pre-show, Sammy had Ruby in like a reverse Alabama slam position.
And Tay hit her
in the face. And instead of
Sammy drops her,
like placing her down or like doing something else, she can like brace herself. The second that boot hits, Sammy just goes, and she lands on her neck, and she rolls over, and you see her noses aren't like, it is
horrible.
Jesus Christ, Jesus. Anyway,
horrible. Strike one for AEW.
We get the casino ladder. We get to the casino ladder match, and I said something to somebody. I said, "What happens if someone like pulls down that thing before the Joker even comes out?" Well,
we found the fuck out.
We found out
that person can do that and then give it to the fucking Joker.
Yeah. So it was Claudio, Wheeler, Penta, Ray, Phoenix, Roosh, Andrade, and Dante.
Yuta
Joker.
Let's not. Yuta died.
Yeah,
he died. Yeah, Yuta was that fucking power bomb he took on the goddamn
There's a point where Cesaro almost killed Andrade.
Yeah,
where he was trying to put the ladder, but the other side of the ladder had another ladder in it, so he couldn't like move it over. So he flips it sideways, and Andrade almost misses the ropes, and you just hear him hit the floor. You're like, "Fuck!" Okay, all right, that was a hate crime.
That was straight 2 and 3. That was 2 and 3. Straight.
Definitely a hate crime.
Yeah.
Anyway, they all end up getting attacked by people in masks, and you're like, "What the fuck is this?" And then one of the guys in the mask is like 9 feet tall. And you're like, "Oh, that's Morrissey. Cool." Guess you know where this is going. They take
and then you see, the shortest person with the mask climb up the fucking ladder.
That's Bivens. Okay, that's Bivens.
Mhm.
And it was Bivens. Bivens takes his mask off. He's like, ah. And then we hear Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones. And someone in a devil mask comes out, and everyone and their mother knows who this is. But we're not going to say it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it yet. Everyone and their mother knows who this is. So they come down, take the casino chip, and Justin Roberts goes, the winner is the
Joker?
Joker? He goes to pull the mask up, and he just goes and walks. And you're like, all right, okay. I mean, sure, yeah. Who could it be?
We know who you are,
I will say one thing.
you sneaky devil.
I think MJF put in some work in the gym during this little bit of time he ain't been on television, because he did change his body structure a little bit. It had me second guessing a little bit. I'm like, is that don't look like how MJF, that motherfucker look a little bit more muscular.
I don't know why you're saying MJ. I didn't say who it was. When we don't know who it is. We have no idea.
Okay.
But,
It's Maxwell.
next up, we have the Elite and Dark Order, which was pretty
Damn good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty damn good. Yeah.
I think this is one of those things where, like, I kind of expected it to go one way or the other.
Good ass match for me to get wrong.
Yeah. This is another show where, like,
my boy Johnny Hungy.
This is another show where, like, you didn't really get a feel good moment.
No.
Ever.
No.
In this show, except once, and then that.
I wonder why.
So that was the thing, was like, this show had a lot of good matches, but like the crowd kept getting deflated because people that wanted to win didn't win, and it was like Clash, but at Clash it was just 2 matches, and this is 15 fucking matches.
Dude.
The Elite win is a great match, like y'all said, but I think the crowd were wanting Dark Order and Hangman. Then we got Jade and Athena, and y'all said that Athena hurt Jade, and I went back and watched it, and I don't see where that happened. What were y'all talking about?
It was like right in the beginning. She like I forgot what she did, but she wound up hurting Jade's shoulder because she couldn't, like, for like the first like 2 minutes of the match. If you notice, she kept trying to shake, like, feeling back into her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
That's what.
So it was like,
I said, I think she hit her funny bone or something while they were supposed to be like scrapping. I think she hit her funny bone.
She, like, the reason I say is because, like, clearly we know now that there's no serious injury, but that might have happened. Y'all might be right where something like that happened. But it was a 4-minute match. It was a nothing match. Jade just kind of beat the shit out of Athena.
good.
Like, all right, cool. That was
a waste of a build.
That was a waste of time. Cool.
Listen,
I'm fine with Jade wins there, but I really need, and I'm going to get shit for this. I know it. Jade's great. I think she looks fantastic. She's got charisma. It's like horror movies, which is cool for me. I feel like she's stalled out the past year, and I really need. I said something during that match. I said it's another match where she's like having to get a lot of help, and I don't know what's happening. And y'all said it might have been an audible because she got hurt. If that's the case, okay.
Because
for right now, it just looks like that's just the matches that we get.
Because you guys look, the point where me and Matt talking about where we felt we saw Jade get hurt, Athena didn't even slow down. Like,
that
if
was
you
the only
see
thing that irritated me in that match. It just had a frantic pace.
yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe they got cut for time or something.
No,
I
I don't think so.
it's 4 minutes, and I don't know. They make Jade is supposed to be a bigger deal to where.
Yeah.
Why
Listen,
is 4 minutes still? I know she's only had like 38 matches or whatever.
because
that's
Swole, you know why the match was 4 minutes. Tell us why the match was 4 minutes. All right.
I guess because Swole explained it earlier this year. Yeah, that's was that this year? It's been a long ass year.
Yeah.
God, it's been a long fucking year.
Swole pretty much told us why that match was 4 minutes. Think about it.
Every week, Swole is proven right. Every single week.
And
So
Cody.
next up, and Cody. We have Warlow and FTR against the Motor Machine Guns and Jay Lethal. And man, I just wish Wardlow and Jay Lethal were not in this match.
All right.
God, I would. And it's nothing against either one of them. I like
Yeah.
them both. Fuck. Just give me that tag match that we all want.
Yeah.
Just
I
give me
hate
the
when
match.
they give these just to get people on the card matches. I hate these matches,
This
and
could have
that's
been
what this
Dynamite or
was.
Rampage.
Yeah.
It could have been Dynamite or Rampage. And I hate it for the Machine Guns because, man, they just it sucks. It was a good match, but like, fuck, man, just give us the thing we want without having to add all this extra shit to it.
Right.
Just
I like the
please.
I like the fact that at the end we got Dax's daughter to come out.
Yeah,
She got her little moment.
punched Sanjay.
Yeah, she got her moment.
Sanjay, and then she got a pin.
Right.
That was cool. And again, like it was a good match. It's just it could have been better if it was just the tag team.
Wait a minute. There's a new Quantum Leap coming out.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
By the way, if you're listening to this, sorry for my coughing. I should be muting my mic, but it's
Mongo, you don't have to apologize. Mongo, you were asleep for 6 years.
That's true. Next up was Powerhouse Hobbs with Ricky Starks, and I really thought that match was going to go longer than 5 minutes.
That match fucked me over because I just knew Ricky Starks was going to win.
Like, good God,
Powerhouse.
even Ricky. Like, I guess the one. I guess we got two matches that were like feel good. One was Wardlow and FTR because of that moment with Dax's daughter, and then another one we're getting too soon. But we really thought. I thought at least Ricky was going to get a big moment here.
Yeah.
And he just didn't. And I mean, it was he got
like
fucking
thumped. He got thumped, nigga. He got thumped.
I wonder why.
I mean, it makes sense considering the fact that Powerhouse Hobbs is a goddamn monster. But like, shit, you're gonna wind up having them fight again. That's what's gonna wind up happening. You're gonna wind up having them fight again. What? You're gonna get Ricky his win on a what you call it? You're gonna get Ricky his win on a goddamn Dynamite? It's not gonna have the same effect. It's really not. It's gonna be whack.
Like, man, if you wanted to like give Powerhouse wins, delay it. Ricky has to be out for another few months because of his neck. Like, do something. But all right, he just flattens him and we move on, I guess.
No, he killed that boy.
Yeah.
Some more on the next match.
That was murder.
He got
Right.
destroyed.
The next match is my favorite match of this card. It is Swerve in Our Glory against the Acclaim.
Yeah.
Sit on me, daddy!
The match that got me the title secured, baby.
That was one of my favorite tag matches this year. Definitely. Swerve in Our Glory, man.
It's all right
They got
because we gonna get our moment at Grand Slam.
Be sure enough is, and I'm going to be in the building to see that. But once again, look at that.
Fully behind
We get it. But you got to look at this though. Like, see, like Ricky Starks is going to get his revenge on the Dynamite. The Acclaim are going to get their revenge on the Dynamite. Like, these are your pay-per-views for a fucking reason.
There was I think it was Brian Alvarez a long time ago. And he was reviewing TNA back when TNA was in the mud, basically. And he was saying it's weird because like WWE builds their stuff towards the pay-per-view and TNA will build their stuff towards TV. So like old TNA pay-per-views didn't have finishes that you wanted. They had moments where you're like, I need to see what happens on TV instead. And it's kind of like what Dynamite or AEW is kind of like right now, where we didn't get what we wanted on pay-per-view, but we'll get the rematch later, and then that'll swap.
And
hustling backwards.
and depending upon the location of the Dynamite, they'll promote that Dynamite like a pay-per-view.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because this Dynamite is in New York City at a pretty big arena. It's not a huge arena, but it's a tennis arena, and they're holding a wrestling match in a tennis arena. So it can hold.
What do they call it? What's the?
It's the Arthur Ashe. It's Grand Slam.
Grand Slam because
It's at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. It's at the Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Popular stadiums in the country, that's for sure.
You know what I mean? It's a nice complex with a bunch of different buildings, and that particular building is the biggest one out that complex. Okay, and they're treating this Dynamite like a pay-per-view. And depending upon, like I said, what location, because they're at this one. If they go to Chicago, all Chicago Dynamites are treated like pay-per-views. Think about it. Like major cities. Yeah, like you were saying, major cities, they're gonna treat those major cities like pay-per-views. So Chicago, New York, when they go down to Florida and they go to the spot they were at during COVID, they treat that now like a pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, that place down in Jacksonville.
Right.
Dailies, whatever.
Dailies,
Yeah.
Dailies
Palace, right.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Mm-hmm. They
Anyways,
treat
this match. Did y'all enjoy the match? Does the ending of this match ruin it for you?
No.
Nah.
I was fine either way, but I saw a lot of discourse online. The crowd definitely was behind the Acclaim, but for the three of you, it didn't bother you to see Swerving Our Glory win?
No, it didn't bother me to see them win. I mean,
I don't think
we're talking about Keith Lee. We're talking about Keith Lee and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Okay.
Yeah, I mean
that's what we're talking
you're
about.
Right. I don't think they knew how much that crowd was about to go for the Acclaim.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Right.
They didn't. We'll talk about it when we talk about the media scrum. But Swerve Our Glory gets asked a question about that, and they get pissed about it. But this is my second match of the weekend.
I can understand why. You got 389,000-pound Keith Lee still moving around like a goddamn bobcat. You know, you got Swerve being Swerve. And, yo, Max Caster
He's strong.
is a fucking bull.
Did you see Cena put that picture of him doing the FU on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
So even Cena's like,
listen, well, he kind of looked like, Matt Caster happens if John Cena and Russell Wilson had a baby.
he does look like Russell Wilson.
All right. Bowens, I like the fact that they kept bringing up him having injuries, and I like the fact that they were like, Bowens might be the weak link of the group because he keeps failing his partner by having these injuries.
It's a great comment. Yeah, it's a great line.
I was like, okay, AEW, let me find out y'all are trying to start a storyline and build a story here. Look at you, not bad.
But maybe they did know the reaction they're going to get because Swerve and Keith worked like heels that night.
the story that they've told, that they've been telling with Swerve and Keith Lee has been great. It's just basically Shaq and Kobe. It's Kobe and Shaq feud,
essentially.
just being retold.
Eventually, they'll break down. We'll get to
Like
that.
that
For
should
right
have
now.
been their 2004 finals right there. Fuck going to Grand Slam right there at All Out should have been that moment, and that's on TK for not calling an audible. Because if he's the booker, and if you're keeping the pulse, because we all knew it. Everybody on Twitter, everybody on social media, we all felt that pulse. We all said this is the right moment to do a title change. Let them do it. Do the title change. No, you didn't give it to him. Now they're like, well, you're only doing it now because of what happened later that night, and because of you've seen everything that we said after the fact. Now you're saying, well, I can do it now. Well, it's not going to be as special. It's not. We're just going to be like, well, you're doing it because we asked you.
Now it's going. I'm gonna be honest. It's going to pop.
It's going to hit, but it's not going to hit the same.
It's not going to hit the same for anyone outside that arena. New York is different. We really are different, yo. We first off, once these dudes say "Scissor me, daddy," guarantee you get a "Hey yo" chant right after that. Right? New York is different. You're gonna get an "Hey yo" chant right after that, and New York is gonna pop hard. New York is gonna pop hard. I'm telling you. But for everyone else that's not there in that arena, I understand exactly what you mean. Though it doesn't have that same because like it should have had that All Out. But in that particular arena, because of where they're going to be at, I guess maybe that's why they feel it's okay. Like I said, certain arenas get pay-per-view feels. Look, that same. No, I can't talk about it yet because we didn't get to it yet. Go ahead, Margo.
All right. Again, fantastic match. Definitely match of the night for me. Next up, we have Tony Storm versus Britt versus Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida.
Bathroom break.
Interim championship.
Bathroom break.
I thought this was good. Really? I thought it was all right. I thought it was pretty good.
Bathroom break.
I think that I'm only saying that because I probably hit that point where I'm like, I need a break.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, we've gone through
7 days.
Three matches that were 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Too damn long.
This was the 11th match of the night.
Yeah, so that would have been me getting. Yeah, I would have definitely been getting up to go to the bathroom or something.
But I thought it's for what it was. I thought it was good because we got interesting stories.
Yes, Reggie.
Yeah.
Yes, Reggie. 500%. Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
That's not bad. They talk about it. I guess we'll talk about it right now. During the scrum, Swerve and Lee are asked while they're with Tony Khan at the table by someone from media, should they have called an audible on the tag match tonight? And Swerve went off. That's been
their case in their story. Like you said that you said, Mongo, they were working heel this tag match. Swerve is working heel. Yeah. Keith is just being Keith.
Good. Swerve is Kobe.
Yeah. Swerve. Keith said something that like he didn't. That's a good point. Because they said, well, social media did, and Keith says, social media is beneath me. Like, all right, that's what, fair point. It's a good point. But maybe okay, you know what, y'all might be right. That's but he did go off on that point. I can't remember much of it because honestly, the thing that happened before that just kind of took up most of my brain space.
Right.
But if you guys get a chance to go back and read it, or not read it, to go see it, you might listen to us. Swerve and Lee both have some pretty interesting comments. Anyway, Tony Storm wins the interim championship. I'll go ahead and say that at the media scrum, she also says Thunder Rosa says she's hurt, and when she says she's not hurt anymore,
I'll
we'll
beat
have the
her,
match.
and I'll beat
which is very so. Like everybody that was at that presser, aside from Chris Jericho, was throwing shots.
Everybody.
Everyone,
People
but
fed the
Jericho.
fuck up. People are fed the fuck up in AEW. AEW is truly the ghetto.
Everyone does seem pissed, and and we'll get to more because it didn't stop there. Next up was Christian and Jungle Boy, and man, honestly, this is a match I was looking forward to.
I was too, and it started off with one big old what the fuck?
Luchasaurus turns heel again, I guess because they'll never see it coming. That feels like a Russo thing, and we're like they're not gonna see this happening, bro. Like, yeah, because
I was just
why would that happen?
I was like, why is this happening?
Luchasaurus is the new Big Show.
Yeah, face heel. Yeah,
I was legit mad because I'm like, why is this? No, I don't want fuckery. I want a match.
And now we know why. Christian's injured
because somebody's old as shit.
Christian, we'll talk about injuries in a little bit, but Christian is one of 4 people that are injured right now.
You ain't break your back.
So Luchasaurus attacks Jungle Boy during his entrance, throws him onto some steel, puts him through a table. Christian hits him with the unprettier. That's the match. 46 seconds. Sucks, but he's hurt. So what can you do? Next up was Jericho and Bryan Danielson. Honestly, pretty great match.
Yeah, that was a good match.
Jericho still.
Lionheart came out.
He did.
Lionheart came out and did.
But again, Jericho won instead of Danielson, and the crowd kind of got a little deflated again because, like, the crowd flattens out when Ricky loses and when the Acclaim lose, and then Tony wins, they're happy. Christian and Luchasaurus do their thing, so the crowd gets sad. Jericho beats Bryan after an amazing match, and the crowd just flattens again. That was the whole show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was like, oh, this is really exciting. The crowd didn't like ride high. The crowd didn't have like highs and lows in a good way. It was, yeah, we're fine. Fuck. All right, well, maybe the next one.
Yeah. Oh, shit. The match is over already. Nope, that can't happen.
So, and like Kenny said about, hey, we'll see the rematch on Dynamite. This happens on pay-per-view. We'll have the real thing on Dynamite. Bryan beat Hangman this past Dynamite. So next week he's going to fight Jericho again in this tournament.
Wait, we don't know. We didn't say there was a tournament yet, Mongo. We didn't get to that yet.
Hey, we're past that part. This Otis 4 though, so no one knows what it's for yet. Could be for anything. Maybe a new belt. But so like you said, Kenny, we're gonna get the rematch and maybe Bryan wins that one. Make fans happy.
Right. Dynamites are their pay-per-views. And for some reason,
sorry.
I was going to say, Dynamites are really their pay-per-views, and for some reason, they give people $69 to watch something else, to watch a regular TV show on every 4 months. That's what it is. Dynamite's their pay-per-view, Rampage is their Raw, and their pay-per-views are NXT.
Yeah. Next up is House of Black, and apparently the last match of the group against Sting, Darby, and Miro.
It's the House of Gone.
It was a
how pissed. Like, bro, I came over here for you, and you bouncing?
Yeah, yeah. So real quick, this match, it was all right. It wasn't anything to write home about. Sting, Miro, and Darby win, and then after the match is over, and like we cut to a video package, House of Black goes on the stage. Black does the kiss to the crowd, bows, leaves.
Yeah.
We now know that's because Malachi
go bye-bye.
Black asked and was granted his release, but not a regular release.
Hold
This is a
on.
special
The first release that he asked for, he was denied.
right.
This
That
was
can-
this is considered a conditional release.
That's right. That's the word. Conditional release. And I believe it's like you can come back anytime or keep doing stuff, or you can wait 6 months to do anything else.
Not 90 days, folks. Like that.
Not 90 days.
6 months.
Double the 90-day no compete.
I know why they
180
did that.
days. Because they don't want him going back to WWE right now while it's hot.
They don't
If
want
others, sorry, go ahead, Matt.
they don't want him to do that, and if they're saying that the rumor is he's stepping away from wrestling due to mental health, so they're basically kind of calling his bluff. If you are truly having mental health issues, then you're not going to want to wrestle or do anything for the next 6 months. And if you do want to wrestle, you're only going to wrestle for us.
Who the fuck are they to call his bluff though?
But
They're not.
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You know, you guys, we're a brotherhood, so we know a lot about each other. There is no time frame on how you feel when it comes down to your mental health.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You can be perfectly fine at 10:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and at 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time go into a fucking depression. There is no time frame. There is absolutely no time frame. There could be anything can trigger a depression, a smell, a thought, a word, a phrase, anything. Like there's no time for. How do you give some I see what you're saying, Matt, but that is so fucked up. If that's the case.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who the fuck are they to call a bluff on that shit? If the man isn't doing well mentally, you gotta take that seriously, automatically.
Yeah, they're taking it seriously, but on the back end, that's exactly what they're saying behind his back. If he is truly suffering, if he is truly having mental health issues, he's not going to want to wrestle for these 6 months.
But like to Kenny's
It's
point,
going to put him on ice.
but like to Kenny's point, why put it? You can't put a timetable on that. Like you can't put a timetable on that.
Who's to say? Who's to say him being around a certain crowd does not help his mental stability?
Do you know who's over at another company that might help his brain out?
His wife, God damn it!
Yeah,
His wife.
his fucking wife.
And you notice ever since a lot of this has happened, she has disappeared too. So obviously it is a serious issue. Whatever is happening is being taken seriously.
I don't know, man. It sucks. I do wonder if this conditional release is going to be normal going forward. If someone asks for the release and they're granted it, like, is it now going to be everyone that gets the release? You're going to have to wait 6 months, or is this just for Malachi?
I think it's going to be for the people that sign those stupidly long contracts.
Yeah, he should have signed a 5-year deal. That is
like Malachi, Adam Cole, Miro.
I would say if Miro gets released, then we'll know it's that type of deal.
Do we think he's trying to go back to? I don't honestly.
I think that man wants to be healthy.
Yeah, I don't think this is him trying to like get one over on anybody. He has talked about before, even before he was in AEW, about how he had dealt with mental health problems before. He's been
right.
like a big
Right.
when it comes to like speaking about it. He's been like a proponent about it, been an advocate for like pushing that importance of it. This is a problem he's had for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like Kenny said, it's something like everyone kind of knows something about, whether it's something you deal with or someone you care about deals with. So no, I don't think this is him just trying to get out of anything. I think he needs to step away, and Godspeed to him. Good luck. I think everyone's rooting for him to figure it out. And whether he continues to wrestle or not, I just want the guy to be healthy and happy.
And honestly, with a lot of this, with that conditional release part, it's probably just a way of them protecting themselves. If you think about past cases where people have just randomly left the company saying that they were done, Kurt Angle is a great one. He said he wasn't wrestling anymore, and then a few months later, he was in TNA.
Yeah.
We had Jeff Hardy. Nothing was wrong with Jeff Hardy. He just said, "Oh, I'm sick. I just want to go home." And then he's in AEW.
I have a question.
Oh, you mean the tampering that AEW did that they want to get WWE for, that they sent the email to? The same type of tampering?
There's so many issues. There's been so many instances of this type of stuff happening. I don't blame them for saying, "Oh, here, wait 6 months if you really are done."
I have a question. Shouldn't they have done their research more about his past issues with mental health?
Yeah.
Not really. I don't know if that's something they should have, for that to be a
Or
thing.
at least ask him.
But you know what? It was a very public thing. He was very public about it. It's not something that's hidden and stuff like that. So I think that's something that they knew from they already knew. Now, like, we don't know if what that is the case that they're doing. They're like, pretty much, we'll see if you really are. We don't know for sure. But if it is, it's his mental health was a well-known thing. It's a well-known thing. It's not a secret that people would have to look up to be like, oh, we didn't know he had. Nah, he talks about it. He tells you the reason he has that demon on his back is because of it. Those are that's part of his mental health. One of the demons that he was fighting. Like, so.
And and I get Matt's point. And yeah, like, I understand them protecting themselves, but if you know that this man has dealt with these issues in the past, and it goes back to your point as well, Kenny, why put a timetable on that? Just give him a leave of absence. Just give him a leave of absence.
If the man wants his release and he tells you, look, I can't, my mental is not here. This is not the type of job where someone can say my mental is not here and it not affect and affect. If his mental isn't there, that means he could miss a spot and someone can get seriously hurt. Someone can get seriously hurt. Like, if he says, look, I just want to go home. That's what I want to do. I want to go home. I don't want to do this anymore. You got to respect that.
And to that point, that'll just make his mental issues even worse. Because now his personal life and his professional life would be something that he would have to deal with as far as trauma.
Listen, if you've ever been in a goddamn job where it drains your mental to be there, it takes a lot out of you. You do wind up making mistakes while you're at that job because you really don't want to be there. Like, you really don't want to be there. You fuck up on little shit that you know that you can do without even thinking twice. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we wish Kai the best, whatever he does next. Just kind of hope he gets help he needs.
All right.
Next up is the main event. Punk beat Mox. He's new AE World Champion. That lasts for about 2 days.
And then the real main event happened.
I like the match.
Here's the thing.
That was behind Punk. I thought the match was good.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna say something. Y'all know I hate CM Punk with a passion. Guess what? CM Punk had a good match. That was a really good match, actually. It was a good wrestling match, and it was a good fucking fight. Also, it was a good match.
Legit brawl.
Here's the thing, though. Once again, CM Punk has not had a match that I will remember. He has a promo that I will remember. Once again,
So, let's get into it. CM Punk's inevitable meltdown.
CM Punk went into business for himself.
Everyone knew this was coming since he showed up, because everyone that has followed Punk's career,
the shit hit the fan,
knows that when something isn't going the way he wants to, it will just fucking fall apart. And that's what happened. And he starts off this thing by asking a reporter what their name is. And it's somebody from Wrestling Inc., Nick Hausman, I think.
Yep.
And then he just goes off on him and every reporter in the room about the Colt Cabana situation.
That
And
no
then
one
later
brought
on-
the fuck up.
And he goes on later and says, and the fact that I've got to answer questions about Colt Cabana is fucking ridiculous. Like, no, you're not answering. No one asked.
Because
No
side
one
note,
brought it up.
no, it was never brought up. No one brought up Colt Cabana ever during that time.
He gets mad at Brian Alvarez. He says, Brian, you mad at me? And Brian says, no. Okay, I'm mad at you. Brian goes, what for? And he says, because you were pushing this whole Colt Cabana problem on your show. And Brian said, I never said that. I said that I heard rumors about that, but I never said anything about I never said they were true. I never confirmed anything. I just said what things have been. But he was calling out everybody in the room like, "Oh, you're all fucking terrible. You're all what's killing this business." You were
As he's eating a cake.
As he's eating a cupcake, and it's like it was crazy because it was one of those moments where like it's a train wreck. You know it's terrible for what's happening. You can't look away. He would not stop, and then. He talked about Colt Cabana having money issues, and he paid for Colt's bills during the lawsuit with WWE. And then he and Colt had their problems that are very well known.
Told that Colt shared a bank account with his mom.
He said that for no reason. He just said
that man's business out there
He
for
pulled
no
a-
damn reason.
He pulled the Sansa. He pulled the
That tells-
Sansa with Braun when they said that they was going to name Braun King. He can't even make children. That's exactly.
He shares a bank account with his mom, but that tells you anything about who he is as a person. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Then
Who
told
asked?
us, oh, I haven't been friends with him for 2 years, so stop asking me about him. Don't care where he's at. Don't give a fuck all. This, that, and the other. First of all, none of us ever gave a shit about either one of you, to really
No one asked.
be frank.
No one asked.
Didn't
No one
ask, nor did we care. It gives us a brief recap about how Danhausen gave him shoes. So shout out to Danhausen. And then he decides to go back into business for himself and bring back up for Double or Nothing, which was in May. He's still mad about shit that Hangman said all the way back in May.
The stupid, dumb fuck, Hangman Adam Page. And the whole time he's doing this Tony Khan's face.
This dude's
sitting there like this
in front of his boss, and his boss is looking at it, realizing,
oh shit, at this moment, I fucked up.
I'm watching the implosion of my company.
He is literally realizing it. What's running through his head is everything that Cody probably told him would happen, and why Cody left and went to WWE. Because
And
now it all makes sense. Tony
but
Khan
also,
picked CM Punk over Cody.
Like a fucking idiot.
but also, you're the boss. Tell him to shut
Right.
up.
And he never
Exactly.
told him to shut up. He
He
let
let him
him
talk.
he let him disparage not just one employee, 2 employees.
More than that,
This-
Yo,
said
he
the EVPs
let
can't-
he
Tony Khan's a
EVPs
fanboy.
The EVPs
He
can't
what you
run a
call it?
Target.
he pretty much disrespected the entire company from the executives down to the common wrestler.
And he was
Okay.
insulting the majority of the roster. It wasn't
And-
just
and
them.
it's-
He said, "I work with fucking children.
Yeah.
Tony makes me work with pricks all the time." That's everybody.
Mind you,
That is
last year,
everybody.
he was like, "There's so many young guys in the locker room that I'd love to work with." Fast forward 1 year later, I'm a fucking adult and I work with fucking children.
Because
I'm
what
old, I'm tired, I'm
because-
hurt, and I work with fucking children.
Because what CM Punk realized is with this new generation of wrestlers and this new generation of wrestling fans and media, we have seen your bullshit. We know
Mhm.
your bullshit. We have measured in your bullshit. We know what to expect when you enter a company. Hangman saw through you. Cody saw through you. The Elite saw through you. Everyone saw through you, except for the main person, the cash cow, Tony Khan.
Yeah, because he's a fucking fanboy.
That's why
CM.
MJF called him a fucking mark. So it's exactly what Tony Khan deserves. You have the guy who this man just a few minutes before you had gave him his crowning achievement. He had won your company's title. Everything I said happened. I didn't expect that what happened after that to happen. He went off. He realized he basically became the Mad King at that moment. He realized he had all the power. He said, "Well, fuck it. Since I got all the power right here, and here go the golden goose right here too. Here go this idiot.
Everybody take some of this.
Everybody getting it. Because can't nobody stop me. Because he ain't never told me to rein it in. He ain't never told me to shut up. So I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to keep going. Oh, they supposed to be your bosses? Guess what? They don't do nothing. They ain't nobody. And now look what we got as a result of all this. We ain't got no AEW World Champion. We ain't got no trios champions. We just crowned our first trios champions. And just a few days, just last night, we have already crowned our second trios champions.
We just got Kenny Omega back on our TV screen.
This man had people going in the back, beating his ass.
And then here's the thing. Okay, before we do, basically what happened was supposedly after CM Punk went on a tirade where he decided to go, like Matt said, Mad King on everybody. In the back, the Elite, the EVPs, which he was talking shit about, decided to confront him. Now, Punk's version of the story is they kicked the door down and they were pretty much about to jump him.
Which I fucking doubt.
Young Buck's version is they went to knock on the door and was met with a barrage of fists. In both versions of the story, Ace Steel, the man who slapped Punk the other week and got him all hyped up, threw a chair which hit Nick Jackson.
Bit Kenny Omega.
In both stories, Ace Steel, the man that slapped Punk last week, bit Kenny Omega. Now, here's the thing. Larry was backstage. Those of you who don't know, Larry is Punk's
Bitch ass dog.
Right. Larry is Punk's dog. So when you hear Omega got bit, you automatically think, oh, Larry bit Omega because of everything that's going on, the dog and the scuffle. Nah, homie. It's your man AC Steel out here taking a bite out of crime. Okay. Now, as a result of this, Tony Khan sees everybody talking shit about him on the internet. He sees how people are telling him he has to grow a set of balls and do something. Tony Khan says, all right, everybody fucking suspended, everybody lose their belt. So because of this melee and because of CM Punk, who we don't know technically if he's let go yet or if he actually is suspended. We know the Elite is suspended for their part in it. And pretty much the main reason why they got suspended is because one of the bigwigs was backstage when all that shit went down. He saw it. Because if the bigwig wasn't back there, I'm pretty sure nobody would have got suspended. I'm pretty fucking sure nobody would have got suspended.
It was just bad already because even just like on top, right when Jericho, it was Jericho's turn during the media scrum. We heard him say something to Tony Khan. He said, hey, some shit went down backstage. Chris Jericho was the most mature person out of all of this.
Chris fucking Jericho.
But in true Jericho fashion, that's when you get the Chris Jericho. He is the only he's learned all that stuff from working in WWE that he knows what to do, he knows what to say, he knows how to go corporate in an instant. He was the only normal part of the media scrum because, like we said earlier, Tony Storm was taking shots, Swerve and Keith Lee were taking shots. They was tired of people's shit. Tony Khan was just letting everybody get their hits in. Chris Jericho is the only person who was. It was a great night for All Elite Wrestling. We had a great buy. It was a great night. He's the only person being an adult. And like Kenny said, it only took one of the big wigs, one of the other people, the people that actually controls AEW's fate for being on TV. It took one of them being back there and seeing all that shit go down for some shit to actually happen.
You know what's so funny about that? They being AEW always talk about how this is a sport and sport this, sport that. You know what athletes do, professional athletes do during the media? Hey, y'all just mentioned Jericho. They act fucking professional. That was the extremely unprofessional media scrum. Said the shit talking for Twitter.
You know what it is? Also, you know what it is? AEW tries to model so much after New Japan. New Japan, after their pay-per-views, they have their guys do their version of a scrum or whatever, and these guys but their talking shit is actual promos for their next matchup. Okay, it's not them putting down the only person that did that, I believe, was what? Will Ospreay at one time, and they got in his ass about it. And then the next person that said something about New Japan was Coda. And we still ain't seen Coda since. All right, Coda mentioned the Yakuza, and we ain't heard or seen Coda ass since. All right.
That is a weird thing with them. They try to treat the media scrum as if AEW is a real sport. But they really don't because they kind of just go out of character. They kind of just it becomes shoot interviews for the most part. It's never anything that's
in character.
Canon. It's never anything in character. It's like, oh, I'm Matty Reigns, but guess what? I'm just Matt. I'm just gonna be Matt now. I got my belt, but I'm just Matt. And I'm tired of these people.
Right.
No.
Like with New Japan, you'll have Okada talking shit, but it's Okada in character,
Right.
talking shit about his next opponent. Like, I've beat this person and this person. There's no one that can beat me. Like, it's one of those type of things.
I've said it. I've said it umpteenth times, and I will continue to say it about this company. They do things strictly for shock value. They do it strictly for shock value. Like that's always been their intent, is to get a shock, to get a rise out of you.
Well, this backfired on them.
This was embarrassing.
This media scrum, because most of their other media scrums have been just like normal, regular press conferences. They haven't really been much to talk about, and you might get a little bit of hint of like feathering of a storyline. You might get some little hidden gems or something like that, but for the most part, they're kind of boring. This time, I thought that's what was going to happen. It took me going on the Twitter and someone saying, "Yo, CM Punk is over here talking shit about Hangman." I'm like, hold up, why are you talking shit about Hangman? I go on the YouTube real quick, and I just see him sitting up there eating a damn cupcake, just spewing, just going word diarrhea, and letting his feelings be known, being a straight up diva. And I'm like, oh, well, this is gonna be fun. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep watching this, and it just got worse and worse and worse and worse.
Like, here's the thing. Tripp said it the best when he said when he told to Punk, you were on the top with the belt, and that still was not enough for you. Dude, you just won the belt, and that's still
He's
proven
mad
that
about something from May.
like it's proven that the spot you won in WWE, Tony Khan is giving you that. Your name is on the moniker. That you want it so badly, and that's still not enough.
It goes back to what we were talking about last week, in terms of Punk. He's held that company hostage since he got there.
Well, because everyone but the person who pays him, who just now realized it took that happening for him to realize it. Everyone knew he was getting Tony Khan for his cash. Everyone, I had been saying it from the get-go. I was like, CM Punk must ain't got no money no more. He must be getting broke, because all these other years, he's always said, nope, I don't need to do wrestling. I don't need to do wrestling. I'm rich. Oh, come to find out, the rumor is all those lawsuits and everything, the boy ain't got that much money all like he used to. So, of course, that's why he comes to AEW. He has his money. Now he's trying to find a way out. Now he's realizing that everybody does not drink the CM Punk Kool-Aid. Because maybe 10 years ago, yeah, we possibly could have still been sipping on it. But now we just know he's a cynic. He's cynical. He's just an old, grumpy old man. Just stay at home. If you don't want to be here, then just let him go, and let him be mad.
And think about how these other promotions over the past decade had just caught fire. Like, you see such an abundance of talent now who came from where CM Punk came from, as far as the indies and being an ROH and being an Impact and so on and so forth. These dudes are not, they're better than him.
Way better.
He's realized that these people are better.
Say it louder in the back
than him.
for the people to hear, please.
They're better than him, and they don't believe in his hype.
It was
his hype. They're like, oh yeah, he was cool, but they remember the shit that he did, the shit that he said about Roman. They saw the shit that Roman had to go through. They've seen all the shit that all the other stuff he's done since then. And then they're seeing how he's waltzing back into the company, saying all of the right things to the right person.
He pretty much did to Hangman what he did to Roman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's found a new person to hate. He's trying to get everybody to hate Hangman. But it's backfired because we're like, no, we saw what you did to Roman. You're not about to do this to him. He didn't do anything to you. What he said was valid. What he did at that media scrum was embarrassing. It should have not been allowed. Hangman had already been punished for what he said all those months ago. He shouldn't even been punished for that. But because
Right.
because Punk has TK's ear, he can get people punished. He got Hangman punished for it. That should have been enough. No, you still want to go on about it. You talking about Hangman almost cost us a $1 million revenue for Double or Nothing. No, he didn't.
How?
No, he didn't. No,
How?
he didn't.
The only way that was going to happen is if your ass walked out of it. Pretty
Then
much, CM Punk, you just.
Shut up, bitch.
Then he tries to say, here's another one for you. Then he tries to say, well, Hangman thinks he knows everything. He doesn't want to take the advice of anybody. No, it's probably he doesn't. You're just mad because he doesn't want to take your advice.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't. Everybody has a different way of learning. You can't be mad because you learn A, B, and C, and he learns C, D, A.
It seems like here's the thing. It seems like Hangman takes advice from everybody else because when they first got the AEW, there was a thing about Hangman working stiff. They spoke to him about it. There ain't been an issue about that shit again. So it seems like he fucking takes advice. Like Matt said, he just don't want your bullshit ass fucking advice because you full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's doing all this shit. He always does this shit when Hangman is not around. Hangman is never anywhere in the vicinity. Hangman had priority left. Who does he talk shit about? Hangman. Who's not in the building when he's talking shit? Hangman. Who's going to go try and beat his ass? The rest of the motherfucking elite. Because they tired of that bullshit.
You a fucking pussy.
He's talking shit about them, and he's talking shit about all of them. And that's exactly why Cody left. Because he said, this is what we had built this company up, and this is the bullshit you picking instead of keeping me here. Mm-hmm. And now it makes sense as to why Cody left.
The best part about this whole thing is during the whole scrum and the fight that went on, you had FTR at the bar getting lit. And what makes this even more funnier is you got the Elite, Punk, and Ace. All these guys claim to not do drugs, so everybody was sober. I ain't never seen this sober people act this fucking violent before. You got sober people fighting. That is some funny shit to me. So as of right now, due to this, we had some vacancies of 2 titles. There will be a tournament to determine the new AEW champion. Notice I did not say interim. Tony Khan did not mention the word interim at no point. So this would be for a new champion, period. We have a tournament, and the finale won't be at a pay-per-view, folks. Guess where it's going to be? It's going to be at Damn. Also, we had the vacancy of the trios belt. And for that, we actually got a match on Dynamite. We got Death Triangle versus the Best Friends with Orange Cassidy. Death Triangle trios champion. Pac is now a 2 belt holder. Tupac, as Greg called him the other day. So, what's next for AEW, guys? who's the next one to who's the next one to leave?
Thunder Rosa probably gonna be next. It was rumored she was seeking her release, and someone said it wasn't true. But honestly, it wouldn't shock me if she
They said she was hiding in the damn
disappeared.
bathroom, hiding in the bathroom or in the locker room.
Hiding in the bathroom. Probably when she fucked up Jamie Hayter's face, she was hiding in the bathroom because she didn't want to get beat up. Oh
I
man,
think
so
she'll be gone next. That's probably, and then Punk. Both of our champions. Well, the only last champion left is she gonna be gone. I think she will definitely be gone next. If anyone else leaves, that's just them trying to just catch on since they see it's kind of hot.
Oh boy, AEW, man, how fucking embarrassing is that?
hold on, but we didn't talk about one thing. At the end of the pay-per-view, we got the reveal of who the man in the mask was. The man in the mask was MJF. So on
Yeah.
Dynamite, MJF came out in typical MJF fashion, cutting one of the best fucking promos that the business has seen. Had the crowd believing that he was all for Buffalo and being a face, and then whapash, right back to old Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Took off the Buffalo jersey, wiped his ass with it. Mox comes out and pretty much tells him, "Get your ass." He cuts a little promo. MJF looks at him. Mox gives him that look again, like, "I'm serious. I'll beat your ass." And MJF gets out the fucking ring. All right. So, yeah. Right now, wrestling is looking real fun because one company is a fucking train wreck you can't help but watching to see what goes on next, and the other company is getting back on rail and giving us what we've been missing. Wrestling is fun right now.
There's a whole lot of fucking drama. And
Wrestling,
just,
the soap opera is back, folks. If y'all were missing the soap opera in wrestling, it's back, folks.
Right.
like
All right.
like I still can't believe, and I know I'm going backwards. I just still can't believe that they wasted so many potential good moments for that fucking for that asshole. And mind you, this is one of their big pay-per-views.
Here's the thing, and the
this
bullshit
was
is,
one of their big pay-per-views. All Out is one of their big ones.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is one of their big ones.
Oh,
and the bullshit is, the crowd literally was like, "Man, all right, you won." And they got more hyped when MJF pulled off his mask.
right.
That Chicago immediately forgot about Punk.
Right.
Once they saw MJF.
Immediately. I'll say shout out to AEW for incorporating hip hop culture very much into their shows. They have my boy Westside Gun from Griselda out there, walking Daniel Garcia as Dynamite. That shit was dope. I care for it. AEW has been big on very much incorporating the hip hop culture into their lifestyle. You know, you got Hook with Action Bronson using, that's not a theme song that was made for Hook. That's one of Action Bronson's songs that you can find on his album.
Right.
That Tony Khan paid for so that way it can be used. You know what I mean? So shout out to that. Anything else you guys want to talk about real quick before we call it a night? We've been on here for a minute today.
I guess the good thing about what happened is that, like we just said, we got new trio champs yesterday, and we'll be getting a new champ in 2 weeks. A new champ, not interim. I'm glad they got rid of that bullshit. So one thing about AEW, I mean, they kind of had no choice, but they know how to somewhat clean up their mess right away.
That's because Dynamite's on their pay per views.
Mm-hmm.
Dynamite's on their
Well,
pay per views.
it's not interim this time because the first time around, Punk never got a chance to vacate it. Even though he wanted to vacate it, Tony Khan insisted that he did not vacate it because he was still trying to hold on to that pipe dream of pumpkin spice punk. See how long that lasted. So now he's realized after all that it can't have no can't be no interim. No, this dude, he gotta go. And he's supposedly hurt too. Yeah. Ain't no interim. At this point, there's gonna be no mention of him.
Yeah.
He
And,
never happened.
and we see why WWE has been around for what, 50 years, 40, 50 years? Because they are a well-oiled professional machine. Even when they have their moments where turmoil and bullshit is taking place, they know how to set that fire. They know how to put that fire out, conduct it in a positive and professional manner, and keep business going.
Right.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Because their fucking CEO got fucking the man who created them left.
Mm-hmm.
And shit, they kept going business as fucking usual here, folks.
Mm-hmm.
You are absolutely correct. He is out for 8 to 9 months with injury, along with Christian. Terrible.
And AEW, get some grown-ups in the room.
Other than
They
Chris
got
Jericho.
him.
Other than Jericho.
They got him. They just it's too late. It was too late putting them in place.
Other than Jericho, and I'll put Mox in there too. I'll put Mox in there too, is because how he handled himself when he left WWE.
Yeah. Since Mox be talking shit about WWE too, but
Yeah.
he's an old employee. He's allowed to.
Right.
Don't forget to follow us, folks, at facebook.com/ under the ring pod and at twitch.tv/ under the ring pod. Once again, you know we're here. Under the Ring podcast airs every Thursday, 8:30 ish or so. You know that's around our time. Don't forget
Follow
to
the damn
follow.
page.
Pretty much. Don't forget to follow us on our Twitter pages. We got Greg Bush SK. You got me, Rock Ribs 44. You got my boy Mike, Mr. Freshbeard. You got Matt, the right answer. You got Tito Borriel Maliente. And you got our boy Justin D. Baxley. Don't forget to follow us. Once again, like Mike said, 8:30 is follow the damn Facebook page so you don't miss out. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week to those of you who also follow us for our other podcast, House of the Podcast, that will be returning tomorrow. So you will be seeing the House of the Podcast tomorrow. Reggie, we ain't forget, baby. We ain't forget.
You forget.
You will be seeing that podcast tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. See y'all later. Peace.
All right.